Jiancheng's second high school. It's just one day before the unified exams. The teacher reminds his students that those taking the written exam shouldn't forget their writing tools, while those in the combat division should have their combat suits ready. He also emphasizes that anyone below D rank in combat power should avoid the combat exams entirely. At that, our main character smiles slightly, wondering if the teacher was referring to him. Our protagonist's name is Xu Jingming, a bit of a mouthful, so let's just call him Jing. He's a transmigrator who woke up in a world known as Blue Star. Like in every one of these stories, monsters suddenly appeared, and so did the Awakened, humans gifted with supernatural abilities to fight them. At 16, everyone awakens to their power, ranked from E to A. Jing's ability? He can generate weak sparks of electricity. Nothing impressive, barely enough to power a light bulb. As Jing finishes explaining this little bit of backstory, he's interrupted by a smug classmate. The guy laughs and mocks him, saying, "Even after what the teacher said, you still want to take the combat exam? The only thing you're good for is working a desk job at your parents' company." Before he can continue, a calm female voice cuts in, telling him to mind his own business. The boy's name is Huang Tian, but we'll just call him Huang. Huang scoffs and says that during the exams, he'll prove who's really the best, before storming off and declaring that Jing will get slimed in the arena. Lin turns to Jing with concern. She asks if he really should be taking the combat exam, given how weak he is. But Jing shakes his head. In this world, those who choose the written exams live normal lives. Those who take the combat exams and pass, however, go on to awakened universities, places that nurture them into true awakened, warriors of immense strength. And in this world, strength means everything. Jing knows this too well. He lost his parents because he was weak. That's why he makes his decision clear. He will take the combat exam. Later that day, Jing trains relentlessly, spear in hand, lightning dancing faintly around him. He pushes himself to the limit, drenched in sweat, until he finally collapses to the ground. As he lies there, gasping for air, he thinks to himself, "If I want to pass the unified exam, I'll have to give it everything I've got." Then suddenly, a blue window appears right above him. Jing blinks in disbelief before his eyes widen with excitement. A system window, his Transmigrator cheat. The system welcomes him and rewards him with a newbie starter pack, containing an S-rank ability and 200 ability points. An S-rank ability, something people would literally kill for. Reaching into the blue window, Jing mutters under his breath, "An E-rank like me finally gets a chance to defy fate." The moment he claims the pack, lightning surges through his body. The ground trembles. Bolts of thunder tear through the building, startling everyone nearby. Even the sky reacts. A colossal thunder dragon forms within the storm clouds above, its roar echoing across the city. A distant, mysterious powerhouse takes notice. The thunder dragon dives, merging with Jing's body. The lightning subsides, and the air grows still. As the smoke clears, Jing looks at the shattered window. His ability has transformed, its power now overwhelming, capable of blowing a man to pieces. He chuckles lightly. "Guess I caused quite the stir. Good thing I controlled it." "Yeah, sure, Jing. You really did a good job controlling it." He turns back to the blue system panel. According to it, ability points can be earned by slaying monsters and used to enhance his skills and level. Jing grins. He's always liked straightforward systems like this. He begins allocating his points carefully. After all, tomorrow is the unified exam. And this time, he won't be the weak one. Jing notes that an ability is tied to both the human spirit and physique, so he decides to add stat points to those areas first. Without hesitation, he distributes the points freely, and a surge of energy bursts from his body. He feels his blood rushing, his mind sharpening. Testing his senses, he realizes he's added 20 points each to spirit and physique, raising them by quite a lot. A small smile appears on his face. At this rate, he's confident he can get into the Awakened University. Still, with over 700,000 candidates competing in the unified exam, he isn't sure where he stands. So, kicking his spear into his hand, he decides to test things out at the martial arts hall. But before he can leave, the door suddenly bursts open. Firefighters rush in, shouting that they received an emergency report about a fire. Jing quickly explains that he was only training his ability, and that everything is fine now. Hearing this, they exchange looks, sigh, and mutter among themselves that young people these days are really scary. Once they leave, Jing heads downstairs, only to be stopped by his worried uncle. He reassures him that everything's okay, and that he's just going to the martial arts hall. The martial arts hall was built to help aspiring Awakened train their abilities, especially since most didn't have private training grounds. In the Great Xian Nation, there were two major halls, the Thunder Martial Arts Hall and the Fierce Bear Martial Arts Hall. The Fierce Bear Hall required a 10,000 yuan membership, making it a place for the wealthy. The Thunder Hall, however, was free for high school students. When Jing arrived, he immediately spotted a familiar face, Tang Qi, his cousin. He greeted her as he entered. She replied casually that she was just there with some friends. Jing nodded, saying he was heading to the training room, and told them to enjoy themselves. She watched him leave, thinking that he seemed a little different today. Her thoughts were soon interrupted by the girl beside her, who asked who he was. She answered that Jing was her cousin, a third-year student taking the Combat Unified exam tomorrow. The boy next to them smirked and teased the girl, named Xiaoya, asking if she was curious because she wanted a boyfriend. Xiaoya laughed, saying that with a face like that, as long as his ability wasn't too bad, he'd make a great boyfriend. She quickly burst her bubble, telling her that Jing's ability was only E-rank. The boy chuckled, saying Jing must be brave to take the combat exam with such a low-rank ability. Qi's expression turned solemn. She said quietly that if it were up to her, he wouldn't be taking it at all. Xiaoya tugged at her arm, smiling brightly, reminding her that they came to explore the martial hall, not talk about exams. Meanwhile, inside the training room, Jing picked up a spear. It felt lighter in his grip, but he quickly realized it wasn't the spear that had changed. His body had. His physique had become sturdier, stronger. He took a deep breath, then swung the spear in a smooth, practiced motion, thrusting it into the measuring apparatus. The machine flashed, 321 calories. Impressive. His physical power had doubled. An ordinary Awakened barely reached 100. Next, he activated his S-rank ability, Purple Thunder. Violet lightning crackled around his body as he unleashed it on the apparatus. The screen displayed 3,021 calories, a force equivalent to that of a mid-level Awakened. Still, Jing wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. He gripped his spear tightly, lightning rolling off his skin as he prepared his killer move. He thrust forward, combining his spear technique with Purple Thunder. The entire martial hall rumbled violently. Outside, Tang Qi and her friends felt the shockwave. "Was that from someone in Jiancheng High School?" the boy asked. They immediately ran toward the source. But before they arrived, Jing was already walking out of the training room. She spotted him and asked if he was heading home. Jing nodded, saying he wanted to prepare more there. She didn't realize that the person who caused that massive energy fluctuation was standing right in front of her. The boy from earlier waved it off, saying they shouldn't worry about Jing. The real cause was ahead. They pushed open the door to the training room and froze. The entire place had been wrecked beyond belief.